treat this guy if he's out here and he's wide like that, Roach. Now that guy's a viable threat, David. He's an offset back who can go flat on me right now. So I am eyeing him on the snap. That's who I'm looking at. And if as soon as that ball, I see him going, bam, I'm gone. Okay? And if he stays in to block, boom, I've already started this way. Now I just continue on to the X. Okay? We good there? The hardest one for you guys is if you get play action. So if I get play action and they do this and the quarterback goes here and they run boot, you got to read out first, right? Everything's this way. But if I see play action, the first thing I do, I started to read out and I see clean hands and the quarterback comes out with the ball. Boom, I turn and I sprint this way. I am hauling ass the other way. Okay? We good? But we have to get some presence under here for our safeties, because that ain't easy coverage and that ain't an easy tackle. We all know that. Okay? Let's talk about Bronco into a pair. Now what happens? Let's talk about a pair. How are you going to play that, Jason? Right, so it's really no different for you, right? So, Will, you might start right here, stack, but you're still dropping off of who if you're the Will linebacker? Which tight end? The down tight end or the off tight end? What guy's the threat to the Will linebacker? The down tight end. So you want to make sure, but when the ball's snapped, you're inside eye on him. And the end, he could start in a 6, and he's going to start to cheat, so I can play the back to the flat. But all that's no different, really, than if they took a fullback and he released to there. We're going to play it the exact same way. Mike, you're doing the exact same thing. You're starting to that guy, and you're checking him along the way. Okay? We good? Now, if we had a one-back set in a pair, Buck, what am I doing? What tells me the readout? Whether the readout or not? Huh?
He goes away.
But what else is there? What else do I got to know? What tells me what's important that I need to know when I see that kind of alignment? Sway. Okay? Because I can tell you this. If I get action this way, Buck, and that quarterback run action, I'm reading out. Period. Because the fullback, that goes there. It's full flow. I know that. You'll know that. What I want to see is, if that guy goes, my readout's off. Boom. Here I come. Okay? Now, let's go to the second part of this that we got into at the end of spring. Knowing that, Mike linebacker, when this guy goes here in a sway, huh? But is that easy? What happens there? Because a Buck is thinking read out. Is that easy coverage for you? No, it's almost impossible. So when we say alert sway, what makes most sense when we do this? Because this is level 2, what we started to get to at the end of spring. When that guy goes, does it make more sense, Jared, for you to take him and the Mike to replace? Or have you blitz and have the Mike take that coverage? What makes more sense? Huh? Is that easy coverage on that, Mike?
You mean if that was a motion?
No, if he motioned, doesn't matter. Mike's going to eye him and he can take him. But when that happens on the snap, what happens a lot is you two could actually run into each other. So when that happens on the snap, when you are the readout blitzer versus sway, you'll take that and the Mike's going to replace you in the blitz. That won't affect the corner at all. Okay? That's why we want to make sure you're cross keying. Because we cross key, here comes the sway, boom, Buck takes the cross key, we eat up the boot, and the Mike linebacker will place on the blitz. what's especially important is if they do pull it on the boot, who's the crossing route going to be? The tight end, right? And who has the crossing route? Who's never going to let the tight end inside of him? The will linebacker. That's why he's dropping off the tight end. Okay? Everybody understand that? Any questions about that?
So like an ace?
All right, let's put up ace.
Is he taking tight end there?
No. That's only on sway. The only time we'll ever do that is on sway.
Okay.
And the only time that will happen is when you two pre-communicated.
All right.
Okay? When they align like this, that's like, just like they align in far eye. Okay?
You just do that as an awareness thing. That's what you're saying.
Huh?
You're saying that as an awareness thing.
Yes. Okay? Let me ask you this. What would I tell you guys to do if they did this? What makes the most sense to you guys? That if they went like this, they went play action, boot. What would is a Buck thinking read out there, right there?
Yeah.
Should he be?
No.
There's his fullback. So the end is gone, corner's gone, Buck's going. So are you going to react hard to play action on that side? Where are my eyes? Right there, because he's already aligned there. When they're aligned there, that's where my attention is. Okay? I might be reading out a little bit. I might be holding to the play action, but my eyes are still there. Okay? If we ever want you to do that and have you guys switch that off, we'll talk to you about that. But as long as he's aligned there, don't worry about it. Your eyes ought to be there anyway. Okay? As long as the only time you're reading out, right, Buck, is if it's full flow. And if there's a guy aligned there already, it ain't full flow. If there's a guy over here, that is full flow. So there's a potential that ought to put it in your mind that you have a chance to play the crossfire, that we might pass that off. Okay? We good there? We good on the coverage aspect of it? Okay, let's go flex snake. Is there any difference in the coverage in flex snake? Is there anybody that's different? Same guys are in coverage, right? The Mike, the Will, and the solid and the Bronco end. What's different in snake up front? What's the only difference up front, Curry? What's this guy doing? He's racking because we got a right call. What's he doing? Hotting. No different there. He's still Bronco. What does snake mean to the solid side end?
Up and five.
Huh? You're up the field in the C gap. Period. Okay? So now, what's the Buck? We say flex snake. You're going as long as what, Jared? How do you know when you're going in snake? What do you have to do to identify you're going? So I call flex snake. You're thinking, boom. A light goes off in my head that I'm going. What would make you not go? If you had a number 2 out of the core, period. So once I hear right, I know as a Buck, I'm aligning on the right side. Then I identify from outside in. There's my X, there's no other number 2, boom, I know I'm a blitzer. That's all you got to put yourself through. And if, from that point, if any motion happens that brings an extended number 2, are you going anymore? No. Because you're always the adjuster. Okay? So, I know I'm going where if I'm the Buck? I'm going in the B gap. Okay? Is that what I want to... Do I want to do it from depth, or do I want to be hitting that B gap on the snap? I want to be hitting that son of a bitch on the snap. Okay, let's talk about the same. So, if we're hitting that on the snap with the Buck linebacker, who is the readout player then? The safety. So readout means what? DJ? What's going to make you read out? First of all, let me ask you guys this. I want Harvey. What is my angle? If I'm blitzing in snake, how do I want to go about it? I want to stack the linebacker. There you go. I want to be falling right down his ass at about a 3 yards difference. 3 to 4 yards. Why do I have you do that? So you can read what's going on in front of you. Okay? Because if I get too tight, which happened to you in the spring game, right? You got a little too tight, you can find yourself in an issue, and we can end up with two guys in the same gap. Plus, you're the readout player. And readout means, DJ, that what? I'm going to read out if what? If the guard pulls, what else could happen? Yeah, full flow happens. I'm basically thinking I'm going to go in the A gap, right? But if I see wide action, am I going to waste myself through that A gap unless I know I can run through and make the play? No, it just means I'm going to trail behind the ball. I'm going to be hard in my gap. If they come this way, bam, now I'm going to hit my gap hard. But giving myself a little bit of depth gives me a little bit of room to read all that stuff. Okay? Everybody understand that? Plus, if they do pass and this guy goes down, I don't want you to be so far in there that you bury yourself in the A gap. I want that guard, if he's going to go down to waste himself, then we can get two guys on the remaining back. Okay? There's a lot of reasons for it, but giving yourself a little bit of room gives you a chance to read out, see the guard, see everything that's happening in front of you, and find a good entry point. Okay? Everything else is the same. So, when we call flex snake, I just said to the buck linebacker, he's going until what? Till there's a number 2 out there he's aligned on. But what about the safety? If I say flex right, and I'm the free safety, is there anything that's going to take you out of the blitz at that point? Is there anything that'll take the safety out of the blitz? DJ? No, you're going. It's just, so let's say they line up this way, you're going now with the buck. If it went that way, and the buck adjusts, who takes the blitz now? The Mike linebacker does, but you still do the same thing. Okay? So you're always going if you're the safety to the side of the call and snake. Okay? Any questions about that? Anything else you want me to hit there, JP?
Just one question, though, and you might be getting to it, but a line slot, we've debated it back and forth. Do you want the lock-looking safety being the one who hits it, or the guy who's to the 2 receiver side?
Oh, yeah. Let's go slot here. Where should we be aligned? What's our base alignment in slot, DJ? If I'm the safety. So this would be flex where? Roach. So you got a number 2, right? Right, Jared? So you know you're not going, right? So Mike's taking the blitz. Where are our 2 biggest threats here? Passing game-wise. These 2, right? 1 and 2. We know that we're Bronco over here. When we're Bronco over there, Jason, are you Broncoing off that guy? No. Because why? Because he's number 1. Who are you Broncoing off of? The backfield. Who's got this guy? And what gap does this guy have? What gap is this guy going to fill? Stanley. C gap. There you go. Because he's going here. You're looking to fill in that C gap. Okay? So, we know we're going to show lock. And we know we're going to stack that mic. And we also know that those are our biggest threats. So we want this safety who's closer to these threats to be in the pass defense. So we give this guy the opportunity to blitz. Okay? So so we are always versus slot going to have the lock safety blitz. Okay, I might have confused that issue when I said you're always blitzing, because we want this guy blitzing. Okay? Now, if they were to motion across, now he's going to take the blitz. Because in pro, it's going to be the guy to the side of the call. Versus slot, doesn't matter where the call is, it's going to be this guy. Okay? We understand that? Go ahead.
They start pro, motion to slot. That lock they can go on instead of the free safety.
We tried to get the lock guy to go, but we can be call that.
Okay.
Yeah, how you guys handle that on motion? If this guy's all, let's say he's like this, and this safety's already down in there, then hopefully the other safety would just play off of him and just go ahead and take his coverage, let him go. You guys just control that on your own. You say you, or me. Okay?
Coach, as long as we're talking about motion too, the one thing you guys got to understand, and I think we missed the point, is when teams motion and you're showing a little bit of pressure, is there anything they can really do about it? So it's at that point in time when you hear us yelling, get down, go. That's why we're saying that, because once they start motioning, their plays about timing, right? So they can't stand there and check. The motion happens. So if you're a Buck or a Mike going under pressure, get down and go. Show it. It's okay. Because now there's nothing really they can do about it. That's what we're trying to say when we're saying get down and go once they start motioning around.
Same with a corner blitzing off the edge. I'm sitting there a corner off the edge, and I see that motion kind of go across and start extending past the tight end. It means they're getting ready to snap that ball. So as soon as that guy starts extending out, bam, that's my trigger. I always say use the motion as your trigger. Once the motion starts extending, bam, I'm gone. And if I get caught, I get caught. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? But you try and use that the best you can to be your trigger. Same with you safeties in your movements. Do the same thing. They use the motion as your trigger. They're doing us a favor. Okay? Everybody understand that? Okay. Any question? Let me ask you safeties this. Does that get confusing for you guys to send the lock safety? Does that become a confusing issue for you guys? That's not, because we could always take that part of it out. That's not that important. It just sometimes it seems us it looks like it makes more sense to have that lock safety do it. But I can tell you this, what happened to you a few times, DJ, and I know you're a young guy obviously, is you were the blitzer in Snake and you were aligned over here. Well, remember, in block, you can align all the way over there. Don't give them so much credit. They don't know. Half those guys, the guys on this side of the ball, they don't fucking know. Align closer to where you can hit it. You know what I'm saying? Align over there so you give yourself a good angle to handle your responsibility. Okay? Everybody understand that? And if you're going and the motion happens, you can always just say, hey, I got it. And the free safety just does what? He goes to the middle. That's easy as shit. Okay? We good there? So we understand what about strong? Is there any difference in what I just talked about in strong go or flex go? So let's put it in a pro set. Let's go strong go now. The line we know is exactly the same, right? Except now, and same thing. You look outside of you, your number 2 for the most part is going to be in the backfield. Okay, so unless something threatens you right now, it's going to be I step here and I'm getting depth. And I'm looking for something coming back. Will linebacker, even though I'm aligned over here, I'm looking at what? Who's my number 1 threat? Who's the number 1 threat in this defense? I'm hooked to 3. And I know I'm a hook to 3 dropper. Where is my number 3? Where is he? In the backfield. Are either one of those guys a big threat to you? No. They're just telling you where to take your eyes, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to drop into the tight end. That's still my number 1 threat. Versus the run. And I miss this in flex go. Or in the flex zone dogs. What kind of of player is this guy versus the run? The will linebacker. He's a lever player. So do you want to align with width or tighter? You want to align no tighter than stacking my 3 technique. Okay? Especially as long as I have 2 backs in the backfield. Now, if they put this guy over here, and now I can't get full flow this way, now I can start cheating my alignment over to my 3. But as long as they have balance, or they have a fullback or a tight end over here, I'm aligning with width. Okay? So if I'm the will, and I have backs in the backfield, or trips, or anything like that, I'm going to line stacked here, and I'm dropping to the tight end. That's where my eyes are going first. The end, we talked about him. He's playing Bronco. Now we have a Bronco safety. What does that mean to you, DJ? Tell me. Huh? You're dropping down over the tight end. And what do you have to see as you're dropping down? Huh? He is number 2. So what do I got to see? Yeah, I got to see where all the flow goes, right? So if I know that I have a hook to 3 player, if I see the flow go here, do I want to be wide or tight? Huh? Be a little bit more width, right? Because the fullback's coming with me, or the tight end's going here, and I don't want to get out leveraged in the flat. Okay? So I can't just have my eyes on the tight end. I gotta see the tight end and the backs and see what's going on there. What if it's run? And I know this is happening. Okay? Where am I fitting basically in the run game, DJ? Which gap? Because this guy's coming like that, right? Huh? Hey, you're going to be filling right in here. Okay? Is that going to be easier to do? So in essence, you're basically kind of what? A lever player. Okay? So is that easier to do from outside with a little bit of width or being too tight? Harvey? Yeah, so your aiming point when you're coming down in Bronco is going to be right on the outside part of that tight end. So I'm outside arm free on anything that comes this way. It's easier to go from here to here than if I get caught in here, we're dead out there. Okay? Because any blocks that I get as a strong safety, I want to turn that ball back inside. Okay? We good there? So I got to see the flow. Will's dropping to the tight end. He's going here now, Will. If I'm the linebacker, he's playing Will linebacker now. There's my 3. Who am I dropping off of now? Huh? There's my tight end now. It's now, in essence, for you, Will linebacker, when I have a guy over here, what's this exactly like now? We called strong go 3 seam, and we're still playing strong go 3 seam. But it's exactly like flex go. So that's my number 1 threat. That's who I'm dropping off of. Okay? We understand that? What would make you... What if they align like that? We were strong left. Could you still afford to do that? What do you got to make sure you check? Maybe. Let me teach you a little football here. So we have a thread here, but I know that my number 1 responsibility is on that side, right? So if I'm this Will linebacker, what am I doing? I know that my end has a problem. We might have an end on a really good tight end here. And I also know that, okay, what if they do this and this? This guy can't cover both guys, right? So, what do we worry about? Do we worry about if this guy goes to the flat on that end? No, we don't worry about that. We're worried about if this end does what? Goes vertical. And if he's going to go vertical, and they're going to throw an extended route down the field, what's this back going to have to do? He's going to have to block. So I'm going to key through to this back. If he free releases, boom, I'm going to push over here to help because their ball's going to come out right now. And that end's going to be able to handle that coverage. But if that back checks, bam, I'm helping here because I got a strong safety on him. I'm going to help my end here. You know what I'm saying there? Does that make sense to you guys? And if he's over here, it doesn't make a shit. I don't have that same problem, do I? But if he's over here, I'm going to key for the free release, and if he doesn't free release, boom, I'm helping my end. We good? Okay, we said strong go or flex go really quick. If they come out and slot, it's the same defense, right? Now we have a few guys that could be playing Bronco in here. We could have our strong safety dropping down at Bronco in strong go, and we could have the buck playing it in snake, right? So what are you guys doing? What is your role in that defense? What do you got to make sure you do? You got to handle number 2 as long as what? Yeah. If you're dropping down, I'm playing Bronco. That buck's going. I'm playing Bronco right there. What do I got to do? There you go. Okay, so when is that going to happen? What's going to happen? If you have wide splits here, normal splits, this is real important you understand this. If you have normal splits, the will linebacker is going to do what? He's going to be relating this 3. But if let's say they run play action this way and the fullback starts going to the flat, and it's a wide split, if you jump on the fullback, is that Will going to be able to get to that guy? No. That doesn't mean I don't look to see whether that flow is going, but I'm going to stay my ass on that number 2 with the wide split. Even if the fullback's coming my way to buy time for the Will to get there, we'll break down on the flat route. Okay? We're going to zone it off and play it a little bit softer. Okay? But that's my number 1 threat, and I'm staying with that threat. Now, what if they do this? They align in it, or they motion down in there now into a stack. Now what? Where we have tighter splits there. What am I thinking now if I'm the strong safety? If I get a wide, in essence, what you want to think is now I'm basically the outside guy in a what? In a cluster. Because when that happens, the corner's going to zone off, the safety's going to zone off, and we have a first outside, a first inside, deep, and deep. Huh?
Zone it, right?
Yeah, just call zone it. Just say zone it, or like what I used to call, the call I like to hear is zebra. Just zone it. And that happens if they bunch them all up in there. Don't try and stay on 2, because if this guy starts releasing down the field, Harvey, and you start broncoing that guy, that fullback to the flat's going to out-leverage you right now. They're clustering up. They're tightening the formation for a reason. So think more of a zone attitude and drop down with a little more width. Okay? And that would be the same with the buck. Okay? You guys all understand that? Everything else is the same. So whether we call snake, stronger flex, or go, same thing. Basically, you're all doing the same things. We just have to make sure that we get on the same page on how to do it. The only one that's a little bit different is the one that we'll go over on Friday, and that's storm. Okay, because that's a roll coverage. But those, you got to be able to do those in your sleep. Guts, no different, except what? Who's the hook to 3 player now when we're in gut? The safety. So if I'm telling you you're the hook to 3 player and you're dropping down, who are you dropping off of right there, safety? Huh? Yeah, that's who you're looking at. You're going to see the flow, but I'm going to look at the tight end first. Now let's say they line up at ace. Strong gut, strong left. Where am I dropping now? If I'm to hook the 3-player. Where do I want to lean my drop now? Which safety do I want to drop down versus ace? Huh? Which side, the right or left? Why is that? Yeah, there you go. Because that's where we need to help. We need to help the end. The buck shoot is is more used to dropping than this guy. Okay? So now if they take this guy and they motion him over to here, now who do I want to drop down? Boom, boom. Drop down closer to my 3. Other than that, everything's the same, guys. We understand that? Any questions about that? Sure?
Well, if they break the core, he wants to go one field. So maybe we were talking about that.
Don't worry about that right now.
He goes in a strong. He goes to the slot. How do you want to play that?
If they line up pro to slot,
No, yeah, if they motion the slot, it's a strong call. It starts off with
if they start off in pro,
yeah. Strong left. Then motion over to a slot.
we're just walking the end right there, right?
We were, okay.
I mean, yeah, so we could either walk the end or get up and go. We're not going to change the integrity of what we're doing. Number one, in college football, this doesn't happen very often. So we're not going to change the essence of what we're doing right there, David. We're just going to tell whoever that brought, so if we're in a strong zone dog and we have strong go going, let's say, we're just going to do that. We're going to let this side hunt, okay? Cheat the free safety over, him over, and we're going to walk the will linebacker and tell him to hook it. That's it. And that's going to happen in any of our zone dogs. Okay? If we roll, if it's a roll coverage, we're just going to roll the other way. Okay? You guys understand that? So he'd still be the 3rd, the safety's still Bronco, he's going to hook and he's going to hook. Okay? That'll never change. But you know what? You can play all year long. I don't know. I haven't seen that motion in college in a long time for whatever reason. Most of the time when they do it, I'd call a field defense before I would do that. Okay? We all good there? Any questions? Okay, appreciate your time, guys. We will go at, if you guys want to go at 1:45 again on Friday, earlier? 1:45 Friday. Nickel. Talked about it a little bit the other day. Where do we line up? How do we match up? What are the things we talked about the other day, just generally? Nickel's going to line up where? Where are Nichols at? To the passing strength, right? So where do the wills or the dimes always line up? To the tight end, or where? Yeah, or 2 weak, or 3 strong. Mike's always aligned on who? Where do we always get the run fit from, D-line? Where does the run fit, where are we getting our run fit from away from the back? So what are we all basically playing away from the back? For the D-line, Greg. What kind of technique are you playing over there away from the back? So what do we call that? If we're getting our fit out here, like so there's the back. We're fitting over here somehow, some way. What are we calling that? What do we do? Fist. Okay. So if I put the back over on this side, what can we basically do over here for the most part? Huh?
Cheat down.
You can cheat down, but you can do, what's that technique we play over here, Avery Moss? Is Avery in here? Oh, okay. What's that technique we play over here?
What?
That's like we can blood. Can you blood here?
No, I can't blood.
No, so you fist to an open side. We can blood or play a 6 away from that guy. Why is where the back is important to you guys, Vincent? Tells you for the most part which way the zone's going to go. Okay. Now, let me say theoretically, if we were in an even front and the back's over there, what's that telling the end? Donovan, what's the end thinking over here on the right side to the back side? There you go. Influence. What else is he thinking? Are you going to have 100% of your attention on that guy? Or are you going to be more in tuned on to what that guy's doing? The tackle, right? Okay? So it is real important that you guys know where that back is aligned. Okay? Because I know I'm going to get influence over here a lot. Okay? I'm going to cheat in, and I'm going to be more tuned into what that guy's doing. When that back's on the other side, I'm flipping my thinking now. Now I'm totally locked in on that. I'm not going to get influence if the guy's away from the back. If I'm aligned on a tight end away from the back, I'm going to have all my attention on what that tackle, what that tight end's doing. So I can blood, I can play a 6, but I definitely aren't going to get overtaken over here. Okay? We all understand that? Okay? So if I'm aligned on this side and I'm the defensive end, I don't have any influence responsibility. So am I going to play? So when I'm aligned here and the back's on my side, am I going to be aligned tighter or wider? Huh? Why do you say that, Craig? Because what's real important? What am I involved in now? There you go. So once again, if I'm involved in the quarterback, what's the first thing that what are a couple things we could do over here? We could play a quarterback call, or we could play a veer call. Okay? If we're playing, the end is in a quarterback call, what does that mean? The end has what? Quarterback. Okay? So which case, for the most part, what are you anticipating is going to, what are the plays you're going to get over here? So we can get a quarterback call, or we can get a veer call. Okay? If we make a quarterback call, we're telling the end he has the quarterback on his own read. Okay? What are the plays you're basically going to get over on this side? I mean, generally, you're going to get what? You're going to get zone read. In which case, even if I'm in a quarterback call or a veer call, what do I want to do? I want to get my hands where? On the tackle. Okay? We could get speed option real quick this way, right? In which case, what do I want to make sure we do? Get our hands on where? On the tackle. Okay? You get counter most of the things are going to go away from you. But that guy's going to be reading you. And I know for the most part, which way is that tackle going to release? Is he going to spend a lot of time on you? No, he's going to be releasing up. So when he's going to be going that way, what's it going to happen to that side? It's going to reduce, right? And you want to get in. When that's happening and that guy's climbing, if I'm that defensive end, what do I want to do? I want to be in what kind of relationship on the tackle? On his hip, right? So in all those instances, I want to be tighter to that guy. Whether I'm a veer call or a quarterback call, I want to hug that tackle in my alignment. That's going to give me an easier opportunity. Okay? What about whether I'm an end over here? Now I'm away from so if I'm away from this guy, the back, now what? I told you, you could play a 6, you could play a blood, you could play a 6, you could play a blood, which means you're going to work to a 6. In all those cases, and I say you're going to have your attention on the tight end. So then where do I want my alignment to be? A little bit what? I can be a little bit wider in my alignment. Okay? And if you take this guy out of here, and now I'm on a flex side, same thing. I can fish from a little bit wider alignment because I want to draw that guy to me. Okay? So if I take that back once again and put him over here to the near back side, same thing. I want to be a little bit tighter. So back's on my side. All you got to remember, if I'm a defensive end, if the back's on my side, I'm going to be a little bit tighter in my alignment. If the back's away from me, I don't have the same concerns. I can be a little bit looser. So if I take the guy now and put him into that position there, we don't know where the zone's going to go, right? So if you're going to err, how are you going to err? Are you going to be a little bit wider in your alignments or a little bit tighter? If the guy's in gun eye and I don't know where the back is. You want to be tighter. You want to both treat it like that back's on your side. It's a little bit easier to work for width than to be too wide. You know what I'm saying? So all those things are going to enable you to play your techniques that much easier, better, and that much easier. Okay? Anybody got any questions about that? Okay? I just had something. Okay. Now, defensive tackles, real quick. Okay? We're thinking the zone's going to be coming to me. Okay? And for the most part, if the zone's coming that way, and this is important for you linebackers and secondary guys to understand this, the line's coming that way, what are we anticipating is going to happen? What do we think? What happens? What is a center? The center in this situation is uncovered. This is what I'm always studying. What is their uncovered guy going to do? And an even front, it's going to be the center for the most part. And that determines a lot of times whether we play over, whether we play orange, what front we want to put in depends on how they're going to go. But for the most part, what's that center going to do, Thad? It's going to push on that 3 technique, okay? And when that happens, that's why we say that we want this guy to cheat. So you can keep relationship with the tackle when that's happening, okay? So once again, it's just like the ends in that this guy can be a little bit wider and almost work into his gap. Here, I got to be a little bit tighter. So whether I'm playing the end, whether I'm an end or a tackle, it's the same thing. Back's on my side, I'm a little tighter. I'm a little tighter to my gap. I'm closing in a little bit. I can have a little bit more width when the back is on the other side. If the back's in a gun eye, same thing. I'm going to be tight. Okay? Everybody understand that? Okay, the way we play. How many backers for the most part? Let's take this guy out of here. Let's put our will or our dime out here. Okay? And we have our nickel, safety, corner. We're set like this. So in essence, how are they going to block us, guys? Okay, for the most part. Who's responsible for these guys in an offensive blocking scheme? These 5 guys are going to block these 5, correct? That's the general thought. Somehow or another, that's how they're going to do it. Whether they fold, whether they block back, however they do it, they're going to target our Mike and our 4 down linemen with the center, 2 guards, and 2 tackles. Okay? So, what we're always trying to do, when we're playing too high, what are we trying to do? We're trying to squeeze gaps, correct? We're trying to make things go to the perimeter to give our secondary, our safeties, our corners, our wills, our nickels time to be in the fit and to make tackles, to play pass, but also be responsible for a run. So there are run-pass conflicts involved. Okay, so we're always looking to how do we cheat that extra gap. how do we make the plays on the run, but still able to give our guys help in the passing game? That's what we spend hours upon hours as coaches trying to figure out. What are the best ways? The best ways to give you guys the best opportunity to have success. So when that's happening, we say for the most part that center is going to push on the 3. Then it's pretty easy. The Mike linebacker is going to play his backside gap. We're going to get pushed out. We're going to play off with our fit guy off of that tackle. Or we're going to get in there with him. We're going to get in there with him, and we're going to bounce everything outside. That shit's easy. Okay? Now, how does a game change? And what changes on the offenses where they take their center and he's climbing for our Mike right now? What are they doing? Now, and our Mike's going to be lined up to the back. Okay? How does that change things for us? D-line. This is just theoretically. Okay, what are they doing when that center climbs up?
Just chip up. Okay, so that he went even, right?
Yeah.
The left tackle, he's still gonna have the A, but when you know that center's chipping, like most, they think that he's dropping to the B, but you have to stay right there till you see that tackle catch up.
You want this guy to catch up, right? Then where do you want to work?
To the B. To the B if the center stays on you, but if he's not, you really kind of like got to read the back where the back goes. Because if you come in, you can come in. If he goes out, you can snap out.
There you go. So what's important is this. There's some different ways we can play that. Okay? But the most important thing that happens, guys, and this is something that we're going to talk to you guys about during the year, and we're going to game plan people on this, that if they're a team, UCLA being one, okay, that is going to climb their center fast, then what's important is if we want to be we want to be in concert, these two guys, okay? So we either both want to snap back, because if we don't do that, if we don't work together, is it 2 inside guys? When we say snap back, means we're going to work back to the back. That way we're not duplicating a gap. Because if we stay here, and even, Vincent, you told me the other day that both guys are basically working the inside gaps, right? Because we're anticipating that guy's going to push you out. Okay, that's the whole theory of even. Okay? But if they're going to climb and not pay you attention, we either both want to snap back so we don't duplicate a gap. So that would be coming back to the back, or snap forward. So when we say snap back, we tell you guys, hey, this week we want you guys that's on a center climb to snap back. That means you guys are going to work back to where the back is. So when you don't feel any presence by that center, we're coming back together. If we tell you to snap forward, it means that we're going to work opposite where the back is. Okay? Important concept to understand, because it allows us to gain extra guys in the run, and in essence not have the ball get to our perimeter real quick and duplicate gaps. Okay, so we're either going to snap back to where the back is or snap forward away from where the back aligned. Okay, everybody understand that concept? Okay. We're talking about hand drills. Hearing that, guys, okay? When we say, if we call 4 hands, what does that mean? 4 to the back. What does hands away mean?
Depends on like how many speed they have. So if it's 1 speed, it's cloud. 2 speed, bombs.
So in essence, hands is what? Cover what? It's a cover 2 concept. Means we're always going to play. We're going to play cloud until they make us play bombs, because that's where. So when we're hands, we're thinking. When I call hands, I'm thinking I'm going to get the run support from who? From the corner to the safety.
So hands, form.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to get run support from that guy right there. Okay? Until what takes you out of the run fit, Jonathan? Which means what? When do we go to palms? When they open somebody up, right? So when it goes up, we don't want you going through this guy to go ahead and make that tackle, do we? So we're going to put that guy in the fit, and you two are going to play, we're going to play a palms read out here. Okay? Fair enough? So, if I have a tight end and I call hands, okay? There's a tight end to my side. In essence, what's the safety going to give me? What's the safety going to say, Jonathan? Cloud. Okay, so who am I keying then? To who? When the back is away, you just heard me when I was talking to those defensive ends about. Who is going to block this guy? Tight end's going to block him on run, right? So I know I got to key the back. I got to see what the back's doing, right? So if I'm in a cloud, I'm going to key from there. So my primary key is right there. That's the first thing I want to see is what the back does. So what is my secondary key? Tight end. I'll say, okay, from